I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
So as of now, you guys have any doubt or anything have to ask?
No, as of
No.
now, nothing.
No.
Not for now.
Okay, let's discuss the account tab. What exactly we are going to get inside the account tab. Okay, so in account tab, mostly the activities and the protocols or the functions which we have configured, right, are basically related to the your users, which we can say whatever the users we have created, like admin user, normal users, the policies which we have created, or let's say any global product or HA, whatever the functions basically we have. So we can see inside the basically account details, right? So in that we have network activity. In network activity, basically what we have multiple sessions. If we have, let's say, created a particular for the particular application, if there is any application is using any kind of session or any kind of threats, if they are getting any kind of errors or any logs if they have been generated, so we can see each and every sections in the application users by the particular applications, and we can filter out the particular application from here if we have any applications which we have using, right? So we can see in the byte whatever the convergence which is happening, bit and byte convergence, right? We have been created particular sessions for the particular application, right? If we are getting some error, so that we can see in the threads. We have content, URL, user profiles, right? So each and everything we will be going to see in that. Now, in the threat activity, we will be going to see related to any errors, if we have been found any threats or any kind of bugs in that, right? Let's say some bugs can be happen in any kind of scenarios, right? So that we can see in the threat activity. Got it. Blocked activity, which is, let's say, some you have been find out some bugs in that, and you have been taken action and you have been blocked that particular threat, or whatever the what we said, the particular viruses if we have received, so we can block that particular things from there, right? So that could be related to the threat, that could be related to any content, or that could be related to any URL. Why URL? Because of we will be going to use, or we'll be going to search the any kind of request using web or over the web, right? So we can see the whatever, like sometimes if you guys are downloading some files, right? So sometimes the threat or some unwanted files automatically has been downloaded, right?
Hmm.
So that comes with the URL. So you can see or you can block the particular URL where exactly the file is coming from, right? That you
Okay.
will be not receiving any unwanted files in that. Then we have tunnel activity where we have create IPsec or DMVP and whatever the tunnels, protocols we have. So we can see that sessions and then each and everything related to that. Global protect activity, it is actually very important because of it is divided into the three form, right? One minute, okay. So in global protect, what we have basically we have uh, client base, okay. We have client list and we have gateway, okay. Client base, we will be going to discuss in more detail in global protect path. Client base, that means we are going to create a policy as per the users, right? So whatever the users we have created over the firewalls, so we can create the policies as per the users in that. That comes under the client base. Client list is what? That is, we can do the same thing, but using some browsers we can do that, because of, let's say, some users went down suddenly, right? So there should be some any extra backup should be there, right? So this the client list comes with that part where we are going to use the particular web browser to create session to forward the user traffic towards the towards the firewall over the internet. So that is the main thing. And gateway, that is always gateway would be LS VPN comes under the part of this. So which is you guys are going to discuss. We are going to discuss this in more detail later on. Okay. So this is the main thing which we have in the global protect part. I'll be discussing when we are going to discuss the global protect because of uh, this is just a basic understanding as of now, right? Once we are going to start the global protect, we will be discussing. SSL activity, like let's say we have been created some SSL or we have been created some SSL proxies in that. So related to that, we can also see whatever the things is going to, like the decryptions and encryptions is going to be happen or not, how many part has been encrypted or decrypted or not. So we can see that we will be having the particular pie chart for that, right? So we can see the SSL, how many sessions has been created, what is the size for that, right? How many has been non-decrypted, how many decrypted. So we will see that each and everything, right? In this, you guys have any doubt or anything that they have to ask? Yeah, this one we can take the time, like as per our requirement, if we want to see that the any logs or any kind of sessions or any threat activity which has been happened before last day or before 7 days, before 30 days, we can see accordingly here. We will have also options. Okay.
Okay.
Any doubt? Anything?
So just wanted to know that we will discuss this thing in detail later.
The global protect part will be discussing the SSL also. We are going to discuss tunnel. Already you guys have been done, like how exactly the tunnel is working,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
be discussing IPsec, little part of IPsec and SSL as well. And where I will be going to describe more features about this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And in the block activity and threat activity and this network activity, we will be going to discuss in security policies. When we are going to discuss the security policies, I'll be explaining you this part over there.
Okay. So
Okay, now let's come to the part of monitoring because of this is the most important part in Palo Alto because of whenever you are going to have any any errors or any has been happen anything any incident has been happened in your network. So in monitoring tab, you can have each and every information related to traffic, how the traffic is going on, right? On which interface it is going to be hit, if any threats is happening or not, is there any URL filtering which we have applied. Let's say what exactly the URL filtering is for. Let's say we have multiple website, right? And we want particular website to be to the access and we don't want some website access, right? So we can block that particular URL by following URL filtering inside that. Okay. Wildfire submission, this is also similar like that. You guys are getting my voice or not? Gurgaon people,
it is breaking in between
actually,
a little bit.
just a second. Data filtering part. Now it is fine, right?
Yeah, a little better.
Yes.
Okay, so data filtering part, which is known as a data, whatever, let's say some data has been shared by HR team, some data has been shared by account team. So we can also filter out the data and grab the information related to that this particular data is coming from where and what URL exactly this data is basically using. So we will have the each and every options. We can have the multiple columns where we can use multiple things inside. We will receive like what is the receiving time, what was the URL name, each and everything will get like what was the source, what was the destination, port, applications, like where exactly they are going to receive. We will be having each and every information. With the file name also we can see, right? If you have any specific file which has been shared that particular data from there, so we can also filter out and we can see that which file exactly this data has been shared. So we will be also going to see that both the options. So basically, this part we can just filter out the things according to our requirement, according to the customer requirement, according to the problem which we can filter it out. HIP will be not going to consider as of now because of this is a bit confusing as of now. So we'll be going to discuss later on. Global protect, yeah. I tell you one more thing, guys. This global protect part, whatever the global protect we have, the 60% of the cases comes from the global protect. As of now, this is the record of Palo Alto case, which we have exactly. Not 60, but yeah, like 40-50%, you are definitely going to receive the cases regarding the global protect. Why exactly global protect? Because of this is the kind of VPN which Palo Alto have, right? Just like Cisco have any connect, right? So just like the Palo Alto also have a global protect. Some of employees working from somewhere, they must be not in office, right? So Cisco have been recently launched, I guess, Cisco Umbrella as well with that, right? But yeah, with the Palo Alto, we have global protect. So that using this global protect VPN, we are going to connect that particular site or particular firewall or anything which we want to access from anywhere. IP tag that is considered by the sum of source IP destination IPs. If you know specific IP which is you have to filter out that let's say user 4 have IP address of 10.1.1.1, whatever it is. Okay. So you can filter it out using this particular IP address if you want any information regarding the user for whatever the things which we have created. So this is how we can just perform the tagging here. User ID decryptions, the same which we have discussed, right? Yeah, alarm. Actually, it is important to identify if we have some certain things happen. Let's say some of there is, let's say, on customer is complaining about their that they have been facing power issue, right? So alarm has been automatically generated in that, right? So in that alarm section here, you can see what exactly the errors basically we are going to get related to that. Like how exactly this alarm has been generated, triggered it out. So this is how exactly we can see the information from there. Authentication, yeah, authentication is like, let's say some users have been requested, they wanted to be connected on global protect, right? So they will, request to connect the global protect. So authentication, in this authentication tab, the logs will be automatically generated. The user 4 want to connect to the particular VPN, right? Let's say in this global protect, if I show you, okay, so we will have many more, VPNs as of now,
Gateways.
right? So we have many gateways, many VPNs where we can use that. So I am the user. I will be requesting to connect on India West, best available, wherever I want to. So the request has been generated and triggered it out. And there you can see the authentication that this user want to connect
Connect.
to that. They want to generate the authenticate you. So that you have to put your username and password after that, right? Whenever you're going to create or whenever you want to try to connect any VPN, you have to put your username and password, right? So that has to be triggered by the authentication, and that logs you can see here. So similarly, we have many more. I'm not going to discuss this more because of leave it as of now, just to make it sure. Otherwise, you will be going to get bit confused in that. So I don't want you to confuse. Okay, now this is the policy. I should not have to explain in detail, but yeah, like basic things I will be going to tell you. Whatever the policies which we have, let's say we have configured a policy, right? So in that particular policy, we have I have been configured this policy, right? I'll show you. So in that, I have named it as a trust and untrust. And have been not decided any group or any tag which exactly we would be required. I need just only IPv4, IPv4 address to translate that. If any things will be coming with these policies, so they can translate, right? Yeah. Now in original packet, once you go inside that, you will be having zones. Because of without zones, we cannot create a security policy,
Policy.
right? So what is this particular zone? I'll also come to the part of that one as well. Zone is like whenever we are going to create any policy, we would be required to connect, right? That particular user from some of the interface, right? And that interface would be the part of one of the any zones. And we have to put that interface into the some zones, then we can create the policy, security policies. Without zones, we cannot identify, we cannot create any security policies. So we have to make sure that one interface would be the part of, at least one interface would be the part of one zone. One zone cannot be, configured on a multiple same on the same interface, or same, you can say same interface cannot comes with the multiple zones, right? One interface only can be comes with the one zone. Got it?
One zone can be configured to multiple interface, right?
Yes. No, multiple interface we can connect in the same zone. In one zone we can create, but
Yes,
same
yes.
interface we cannot create in the different zones.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
Got it? So this is the thing what we have. And quality of service. I hope you guys haven't covered the quality of service in your pre-assessment training, right?
No.
Good.
We didn't go too much inside of this, just
Okay. I'll tell you what exactly this thing is like. The basic understanding on quality of service. Basically, the quality of service which we are going to use when any stream is going to be happen. If you would be, watching any video, so there would be video streaming, there would be audio streaming. So that is depend upon the streaming and your capabilities, or whatever the requirements basically you have. So that comes under the quality of service, right? Policy based forwarding, PBF, which we call. Okay. So on the policies base, whatever the policies which we have created, on the behalf of that, we can decide that this policy has to be goes to the which user, right? Which user can be the part of which policy. So we can decide with using PBF over here. So there is a function also in PBF that we can decide who will be our next hop, who will be our ingress, what is the action if any users is coming with this particular policy. So we can define the action: deny, drop, permit, or allow. So we have multiple actions as well in that. We'll be discussing when the security policy will be there.
Okay.
Okay. Decryptions, that is as usual. If any data want to decrypt and wants to send from source to destination, so we have to decrypt the data as per their requirement, right? So let's say, what's the name? So let's say he want to understand only English, but I am speaking only Hindi. So we have to decrypt the data from Hindi to English. Then you can understand, right? So this is how exactly it is happening when you want to make communications from one user to different user. So in between when the data is going to be travel, so decryption is going to be happening in that. Okay. Tunnel inspections, I'll be discussing later on, not right now. App override and these are all the things I'll be going to discuss. SD-WAN is the not part of our training, but yeah, like this is also the features of Palo Alto. So in SD-WAN, with the using of this feature, what we can do is like we can manage multiple features with this particular thing. Or you can say multiple users if we want to make communication, or if you want to send any data or manage or do configurations on many users at a time, you can do using this. DOS protection, denial of service, as you guys all know, right? So this is all we have in the under the policies. I'll be coming on the next part, which is object. Okay. let me come to this part first again to ask you doubt. If you have anything related to this doubt, guys, ask me.
No, sir. No, sir. As of now, nothing.
No, thank you.
Because
No,
of
no.
I will be
No,
going to
not
ask
now.
questions in assessments. So
I
we
mean,
will
this is
be
just
having assessments on after completing one week.
Okay.
Okay. Avinash, you want to say something?
I cannot hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm asking that this is just overview of the sections. Yeah, later we will go inside of.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll be discussing when like we will be having, I show you, like I show you this
Mhm.
part.
Okay.
So in that we have security policy. You guys can see that, right? So we will be going to discuss in detail. We'll do also the configuration part as we have the lab session also in that, right? Commit and phases, each and everything, these partitions, admin roles, everything you guys will be going to see that. Okay. Don't worry about. It is just an overview which I have just have given to you. We will be going to discuss more in detail about these things in upcoming sections. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. So let's come to the part of objects. So in objects, basically we have basically multiple. We can create multiple objects, right? As per our requirement. Like we can create a group object. We can create for single object as well as per the user requirement, as per the customer requirement. So we will be having the multiple options in that object session. So at this group where we are going to combine the multiple IP addresses inside the group. So that particular group has been called in a particular, zones, and that particular zones would be the part of any security policies that we can apply for all users in the single policies. Got it. Regions we can also define, like let's say in UK, US, we have been many customers, right? So if we want any particular customer to be the part of one zone, right? Let's say I have been assigned every users, whatever the users we have in across USA. So I've been decided that these users will be the part of one zone. We have been applied the one security policies over that zone, so that they can internally they can communicate with each other. So there will be no any instructions between that interruptions, and also there will be good security has been already configured, because of if they are communicating internally and they are not going to cross their areas, so nobody can inside and then they can cross, right, as we have been already secured using security policies. As I told you, dynamic user group, this is also similarly like that. We can define for some application, specific application, we can define, like we can define the particular risk group and all the things. As you can see, I have been decide multiple applications that I have been using in that, right? So in subcategory I have been do analysis in that tools, as we can see each and everything, like what we have created a particular application for that, right? So you can see the name of those, you can see the category, in which category is it coming, there any risk on the particular application which is going on. So you can also see that. So there will be also having an option to see that particular risk. And there we have the ports where we will be having that information, like this particular application on connected on which port. Like if we are connected on HTTP or HTTPS, so we'll be getting this particular port for that, or any NAT or any kind of thing. Yeah, so related to that application, alert, whatever the alert we have, you can see that, right? The analysis and whatever the things going on this particular application. You can see that. Okay. We have actually many more things to discuss, but this is just an overview. So I think that is not, and I cannot explain you each and every section in that because of this is going to be very long if I will explain. So whenever we are going to discuss the particular, features or security policies and each and everything, we will be going to discuss these things because separately because of this is already you guys are already aware about the basic things which I have been explaining. Okay. So in detail, whenever we are going to do, we will be going to discuss that. Okay.
Okay.
I think this we have discussed, right? Network tab. Yeah, we have
This
discussed.
interface type.
Yes.
We have discussed, right? Okay. Just a second. So the basic which I have explained, this is all we have. All right. Till now, whatever I have explained, you guys can see the same thing in that as well, right? Like we have VLANs, we have vWire, virtual routers, IPsec, or DHCP, DNS proxy, global protect, quality of service, LLDP, network profiles. Under network profiles, we have all VPN related SSL, VPN, IPsec, Toki, and all the things. So this is all we have. Okay. As of now, there's no SD-WAN configured, so you cannot see that. But yeah, like we do also have SD-WAN interface profile where we can, if we have configured SD-WAN, so you can also see like what are the interfaces would be the part of that and which interface has been assigned so that we can get it identify that this interface is basically we are using to connect the user 4, user 5 for specific users in that. Anything else, guys? If you have any doubt, no, it is not in our syllabus. But yeah, like
we will discuss about all the startup.
yes. So after this, might be they will, for experienced people, whatever, if they have been worked on SD-WAN or any kind of cloud architectures, so they will decide as per your performance, like in which team they have to send you to, guys. Yeah, like Prisma, whatever, Starta, anywhere, PAM.
Wait, so
They will-
right now it's not decided that we work on Strata or Prisma. It will be
No,
depending on
no,
the
it's not
performance.
decided yet. It is not decided yet.
Got
It is decided once you will be completing your final assessment. So
Okay.
each and every week we will be having one assessment which I will be taking you, and that assessment will be taken by each and every week. And in whole week, whatever we have covered, we will be going to take a one assessment on that. Okay. I'll be not taking much time, only 10 to 15 minutes of each of you because of if I will be going to take, each of you giving you 30 minutes, so it is not going to be happen in one day. Okay. Yeah, but there will be assessment because of if there is no assessment, how should I got to know about you, like you are understanding or not, right? Or where you are missing actually, so that I can, I can assist you to focus on those part so that you can be more clarifications because of this is just a normal assessment which I will be taking, but I will be recording that assessment session as well, and that will be send it to the when you are going to get your increment and all, performance increment. So that they will be also identified. And final assessment, actually, it is very important to all of you to clear that. If you will not clear that assessment, you is not going to be on floor. So make sure to clear, and you should have to get at least 60% of the pass. So there will be no option. Got it, guys?
Okay, sir.
And the final assessment will be taken by some of SPCs here, whoever is specialist. So they will be taking. And they
Okay.
will be taking from whatever we have covered. So they can ask any questions from anywhere. Right. So prepared for that only. And
I do have one doubt. Hello.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So you said that depending on the performance, either Prisma and Strata. Strata is a like firewall based device based thing, and
Mhm.
Prisma is somewhat like cloud based, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
So won't the both architecture will be different for both the products?
Actually, we have different separate team for that.
So right now we are studying for Strata, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So first, if suppose if the performance depends and then some of us moves to Prisma, then are we going to get another training for the cloud product or
Yes, yes. You will be getting a training for that as well.
understood? Thank you.
Before moving to the floor or on queue, you will be getting a training. And after completing this assessment and your final assessment, there will be another four section or two, three sessions will be also there where you will be covering your, your communication part, right? And then they will be move you to provide you the product assessment, which is not exactly this product, the tools assessment, basically the tools which we are going to use on flow. So they will be going to tell you about those tools, how exactly we have to work on those tools, right? So you will be getting the trainings for that as well.
Okay.
Okay, now what else we have?
What is this SP3?
We'll be going on this, don't worry.
Okay.
Almost I have been completed this hardware architecture part and discussing with the this lab theoretical part here, right? So I'll be the only few things has been missing, which is SP3 and panels, right? So SP3, which I tell you, like it is nothing but yeah, like all your features and everything of these particular Palo Alto firewall is dependent upon SP3. That is single pass processing parallel, something like parallel processing, right? So this is an architecture basically SP3, which is mostly we are using to make our devices running in the network basically, and whatever the functions and management things or security things which is we are doing over the firewall, that has to be maintained by the SP3.
Okay.
Processing processing things basically, if I say in the simple terms, so that has to be maintained by SP. Okay. What else if we have PAN OS, right? Okay, I'll be discussing this PAN OS part. Guys, I'm not moving fast, right?
So your voice is breaking.
No. So we have been covered this part as of now. Okay, so we'll be going to discuss the PAN OS, how we can do, how what are the features and what are the versions we have and how we can follow the upgrade path to upgrade the things, upgrade the PAN OS, right? Because of this is most important part, which we have in the Palo Alto. Because of if somebody wants to go upgrade for uh, version 8 to 10, right? So we will be having some upgrade path related to that, where we are going to follow the process as step by step upgradation, so that there will be no any interruptions in the particular running network. Yes. Yes. Entire operating system. Yes. There is Palo Alto, so we are going to install the PAN operating system, which we call, right? Yes. So I'll come to this part now. So let's say the customer is having a particular Palo Alto firewall, right? Let's say this version on this particular firewall, customer is using 8.0.1. Okay, so this is the PAN OS which we have. In Palo Alto, we will call as a PAN operating system, Palo Alto Network Operating System, right? In Cisco, we have iOS, right? And in normal PCs, we have normal operating system, Windows operating system, whatever it is. So just similar like that, in Palo Alto, we have PAN operating system. Okay, so let's say customer want to go from 8.0.1 to 10.0.1 or H3, whatever the versions we have, we will be going to discuss. So from 8.10, 8 to 10, we will be having 9 versions, right? We are missing one. So before going on 10, we will be going to follow the upgrade path. Okay. So in that we have base version. Okay. So base version, what we call how to identify if it is going to start the second one, second part, which is the going to identify that this is a base version. If it is 0, right? Just like 8.0. So 0 is what? 0 is used to identify that this is a base version, right? And then after that, we will be having sub versions, which we called inside of that, right? So before going from 8.0 to 1, we will be going to stable version on the 8. Because of under the 8, we will be having different sub versions, right? Where we have some stable versions, which we called, which we are going to consider under the sub versions, right? So we will be going first of all on the sub version, which is the stable one. Okay. Always we are considering the stable and latest operating systems in that, PAN operating systems in that. If we are, preferring to customer that any operating system which we have, so always we are recommending them to be on the stable and the latest PAN operating system, right? To go in that, we have to go first of all 9.0.1, right? And then we have to go to the 1.3h. So this is another version which we have, right? And then we will move ahead to the 10.0.1 like that. Okay. And then we will be moving ahead to the stable version. See, whatever the base version we have, we cannot consider that it is the stable one, right? Stable always why the stable version we recommend, because of somewhere whatever the version we were using previously, that might have some bugs, some issues. Might be if you are running some kind of functions, if you configured HA, if you configure global product, so there will be some disruptions in that, right? To resolve that, we would be having the stable version, so that there will be no any kind of problems can be happen on the firewall. That is the meaning of stable version. Yeah, but first of all, we have to go on the base version. Yeah, Abhishek, please go.
Yeah, Rupesh, can you please repeat again the stable version? Sorry, your voice was breaking. Exactly which do we consider the stable version?
So basically, the 9.0 which we have, let's say, this is not the stable version, right? So this is the base version.
Okay.
Whenever it is going to start after 10, like let's say this is version 9, but after the version 9, there should be some base licenses, base version, right? So this is we identify as a 0, that this is your base, and this is your subversion. After that 0, we will be having subversions. So in that subversions, we are going to have considerable with both of this. We will be going to have the stable version. The stable version could be as per the release note. Okay. What is the release notes? Why exactly we would be require release notes? in the release notes, we are going to identify what was the previous bug, why exactly we have this pan operating system comes with this release note. In release note, we will be going to identify what are the features comes with that particular operating system version, right? What are the functions, what are the features that it support. Previously, if it was not on, let's say not on stable version, so what was the reason? What was the problem with that? So these things basically comes under the release notes where you can identify, you can read, and you can tell to customer that this has been happened, and this is mentioned in the release note that, let's say 9.0.2, right? In that, let's say we have some bugs, we have been find out some bugs in that. And when we go and release notes, we have been find it out that in the release note, this is some bug has been already mentioned in the release note. So we will be not going to consider this version. We'll be not, advising to our customer to be on this version because of they will be facing the issue due to that bug. So always we would be, considering or we will be preferring them always be on the stable version.
So the stable version will be mentioned in the release notes. There's nothing as other nomenclature there. Like for
Yeah.
the base version, we know that any version .0 is the base version. And is there any nomenclature for a stable version, or the stable version will be released by the developing team?
It is it is preferred by the Palo Alto only.
Hmm.
And in stable version, whatever we were facing previous issue, we were having a bugs, let's say we were having like some functions is not working properly. So to resolve those things, we will be launching the stable version, right?
Okay. Okay.
So that is why the stable version comes to resolve the issue and resolve whatever the bugs we have so that our networks will start running very smoothly without any problem, right?
Okay.
Any doubt in that?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. So this one basically this was the part of your URL. If you want to search any URL, if like let's say this URL have some bugs, so you can also search with using some of any URL. Like let me tell you some example. Okay. So let's say I'm going to search this particular URL, like let's say facebook.com, right? I'll be going to test this particular URL that it is good or not, right? If it is having some bug or anything related to that, you will be going to see that. And one more thing, if these things is you guys are going to see, like I'm not a robot, this is having some problem actually because of sometimes they will be going to ask that, right? So let's say we have been searched that and we have been found out that these things is happening or some error or some kind of things can be happen on that particular website, right? So those things could be the risk. We will be able to find out the risk level in that basically. If we are searching any site or any URL, we will be having that particular site, that which site is what is the category of this site, as this is a social networking. And risk level is low risk. Why? Because of I have been used HTTPS request, right? If it is HTTP, then this could be the risk level could be the high. Okay. So in the description, we will see or we will have the things like what we can do. What is the descriptions of that particular website? What is exactly the use of it? So you will see in the description under the description. Okay. Related to that, you can see some example sites that these sites is also the part of social networking, right? So these are the some sites which you can see and you can use it for understanding purposes only. That if some customer is sending you some URL So at least you can just filter it out using this so that you can identify that this is what exactly the risk level we have. If it is high risk, so that we can just notify them that this URL which you were shared, due to this URL, it is high risk URL. So don't open and don't do anything with that, so that we can inform to the customer to not to have any problem in that, right? I'll be not going to discuss this part as we have been already covered. Right? Let me come to the part of release note. Okay. So in that firewall, basically we have the different types of customers. We have premium customers, we have platinum, we have gold. So we have basically the, you know, different part of categories we have been decided with the Palo Alto. And that is not only for the Palo Alto, that is happening with the every kind of other vendors as well, such as your Cisco partners, anywhere if you are going. So mostly we are supporting the premium customers or platinum customers. What we have, we are going to prioritize them as a high prioritize too, because of they have been already purchased many more features or many more licenses with us, so that we are going to provide the services to them, right? So in release notes, basically that I have been already discussed what exactly we will have. Let me find out if I will have anything related to that. Just a second. So you only one release note so that you have at least a one idea like why exactly, what are the things that we can see inside the release note, right? So this is, I will also share this link as well. Okay. So in that we can see each and every release notes, right? For version 10, Pan OS version 10, you can see if you can see, right? So in each and every versions have some some identified some issues with that. So those issues basically you can see over here, known issue and address issue, right? So known issue, if I will open this. Okay. So known issue, what is that issue? We will be going to see that in that. So this is how exactly we are going to find out that what exactly the known issue for that and what we have addressed that issue, right? Address the issue and known issue is basically different. Address means previously it was not there, but suddenly the issue came, which we have been identified, which we have been addressed that this version I have been find out this issue has been happened on with that version, right? And known issue, that means we have been already gone through that. Got it? That means the customer is already facing that issue and they have been already gone through that. That is the main differences between the addressed issue and known issue. Right? Similarly, we will be having many more issues accordingly. Not this is not been decided by any particular model specifically. This can be happened with any model. So you will be also having the model number also here, or you can see the issue ID. Sorry, not the model number. I think I was wrong. Yeah, the issue ID. So with this issue ID, you will be having your Jira, right? There is a tool actually when you are going on flow, Jira. So when you put that particular issue ID on Jira, you will be able to find out what can be causes of that, how many cases has been created due to this issue, right? So the issue ID has been identified by us only to identify to address the particular issue so that what are the cases, how many cases has been created related to that issue, so that we can, inform the customer that this issue has been happened in that particular PAN OS, and due to that only we would be required to upgrade your PAN operating system. Because of before going for upgrade, we have to address the issue and we have to notify customer and we have to provide them the causes, right? Before moving forward to the upgrading PAN operating system, we have to provide the causes, like this can be the causes, this can be the causes. So this is your issue ID, which help us to identify you and to notify your customer to that they can just go for it, right? Simply, we have different actually PAN operating system versions, right? So mainly like whenever you are going to search it, so it is easily be findable. You can easily find it out everywhere. On Google only, you will also be able to find out when you search the upgrade path. So this will also show you. I'll show you, like I'll explain it here. So let's say I have searched the PAN operating system version want to go upgrade from 8 to 10, right? So 8 to 10, it goes to the base version first, 9.0, what I told you as it is, right? Then it goes to the stable version, right? And then again it comes to the base version, and then it goes to the stable version. I'll show you. We would be also having the steps which we have been followed, right? So while upgrading any PAN operating system, we should have to follow some steps before doing that, and make sure to take the backup first. When you are going to upgrade any PAN operating system, make sure to take the backup of that. Without backup, I would not recommend you to go for upgrade process, because of sometimes if you go on the base version, right? If that particular base version is not working properly, sometimes the file is not syncing, right? Sometimes memory is flapping or memory is lapping in that. So due to that, you will lose access. You will be not having any backup. So that is why if we will face any issue during the upgradation, we can just revert it back to our previous version at least, right? Similarly, we have these steps which we have. This is for Panorama, right? For Palo Alto, we have also. Let me check. Okay. So these are the some steps exactly which we can find out and we can follow the same thing. Upgrade guide basically which we have, right? Under the device, under the software, when you go, there will be release size to the other things. So you can just check some CLI. As I told you, like we would be also going to use CLI also. So here we would also have some commands has been there, right? So sometimes if you lose, GUI access because of when you click on upgrade, then upgrade process will be going to start. So your GUI will be stuck in that case. But your CLI, you still have the CLI access so that you can check your space and other things from there using CLI so that things can be monitorized and things can be manageable very easy. Right? So this is some steps which has been given. Okay. I'll be forwarding these documents, both of documents to you guys. Again. I will be dropping this email to all of you. Be the same. Got my point that this is how exactly we'll be going to move ahead for upgrade process, and this is how exactly we are going to follow the process for that. If you have any doubt or any concern, ask me. Guys, anyone?
No, it's clear for now.
Okay.
We will be showing how it looks like the CLI interface.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
But for that, I need to connect the global protect. Just a second. So this is exactly your CLI. So they you have to put the password in and the password and then will be the so similarly, yeah, like you can just directly go there and click on launch web console. So this is how exactly we will be having access. The another way is using putty. So in putty, basically you have to put that particular IP address and you have to take the SSH email. But make sure you are connected with your VPN. Got it? So we should have to put that. It's not going to take the password, I'm sure. Because of it is not working with the shift. We are under the PAN admin, right? We just get logged in. So we'll be performing the activities as we have been not configured anything. So we are not able to see that. But we should have to see the. I'll check and let you know, guys, because of sometimes it is not syncing properly with the CLI. So there is some changes we require to do that. Yeah. So it is enabled. It is by default enabled. But we should have to require access. We have to provide permissions for that. Like we have to assign that particular remote session. Right? Okay. Anyway, I'll be discussing in the upcoming session and we'll be discussing the class part of it. But yeah, like this is how we can take access of CLI and we can perform right now, whatever we want. And let me check what else is going to be left. Okay. I told you like the default behavior of that particular firewall, like you guys have been already aware about that. If any packet is coming on firewall, so they will be going to look at what tables, policies, NAT tools, right? And in each and every sections, they will be checking. And as per security rule policies which we have created, they will be decide that where we have to transmit that particular information. Right? So this is, I guess, done for this PAN operating system. Nothing much to discuss actually. But yeah, like whatever was the important part, which is like release notes and address issue, known issue, we have been already discussed that. Okay. Right. So how we get to see the thing is in the release notes only. If you open this particular website, the release note website, it is mentioned there only. Like with this version, what are the known issues we have, what are the addressed issue we have, right? It is written there only. So when you are going to suggest any customer to upgrade their PAN operating system, you also should have to share the release notes with that. That that like this version, let's say version 10.1.0. Okay, so let's say this version have the known issue and address issue. So you can just copy the link and share it to the customer. That's a we would have the two different kind of things in that. That is related to the issue only, which we have been identified, and I'm also sharing with you that what we have addressed it and what we have known for that, right? So we can share with the customer so that they can know about it. They should, we have to aware about it because of they should be required proof. If you don't provide proof that why exactly we are recommending you, they will be going to ask to you. If you are not able to provide their, solutions, they will be going to escalate to the higher management. So you should have to be the fully documented things. Got it?
Okay, sir.
I'll be now discussing the default behavior. Let me come to the part of this again. Okay. I'll be taking any of the PAN operating system. If each and every operating system, different versions have the different behaviors, right? Let's say version 10 will be not supporting, some logs, or they are not having much, capabilities to handle the logs or capable to handle the multiple many traffics in that. But that issue has been addressed. That issue has been resolved in the release notes in the upcoming PAN operating system, right? So every versions, everything, everyone have the different behavior, and that behavior goes to the any kind of functions, features that could be related to the your SSL, IPsec, any kind of features which we are using. So that goes to the anyone. So each versions have the different behavior. Just like I have opened the PAN operating system version 10.1, right? So in that 10.1, we will be having some features which is SSL inbound inspection, right? What exactly the behavior we have with this, right? So each and everything we will be going to see that. Satellite authentication, which basically we are going to use in the LDM, which is in Global Protect, right? The satellite things comes under the LDAP. Okay, that goes to the your Global Protect gateway base, right? So these are the some addressed issues which we have been identified, and mostly I show you, like I told you in the beginning, problems which we are going to see that mostly related to the Global Protect only. So what? See, the issue could be related to the some customer is saying like I'm using two web browsers in same laptop, right? But this is the clientless. I'm using clientless VPN in that, right? Clientless Global Protect. So that is your browser base. So one browser is synced with the VPN, but one browser is not syncing, right? So we should have to, we have actually some criteria over there to be on the same version, be on the same, operating system, be on the same network. So we have some criteria which we are going to follow that, right? So those things we will be going to cover in the Global Protect part. Don't worry. See, we have been addressed many issue, many behaviors, but as I told you, that is depend upon the different versions, right? Similarly, a release note is also known issue, unknown issue. It is depend upon different behavior and different versions, as we have many versions in that. So similarly, we have different behaviors also. Right? Okay. What else? We have been discussed this web interface, right? Where we have discussed the firewall overview, features and benefits. What is the features we have? What are the benefits? Logging and the users where they are logging and all the things. Day, like time and date, which we have been already, I have already show you. Task manager, like CPU utilization and each and everything which we have been discussed. Languages, alarms, most of the things, if you see, like we have been already covered. If you need any things to discuss in that, let me know.
No, so sir, like what is the change in default behavior is like the default, like how the firewall is behaving before that update and how will firewall behave after that update. That is change in default behavior, I think.
See, default behavior is like they will be following the same thing, like they will be checking the net policy rule and everything,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
But the main thing is like the bugs. If we have been find out the some bugs in the particular specifically some pan operating system, so behavior could be the different. Might be that functions will not working properly. Might be after the upgrade the sync is not going to be complete. So
Okay.
that could be the behavior that comes under the behavior part.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Anything else, guys? Dynamic update, which is not preferred by the pan operating system, latest but not the stable, right? And latest and stable is the different. Latest and not stable is the different. So we are always going to be consider or preferring to customer always be on latest and stable, right? Latest could be there. Changes would be coming, day by day. They are updating their pan operating systems, right? So they are updating their versions, but they are they are might be not stable, right? They are already working on it. They have been might be they have been find out some issues in this table. So they are working on it. So they have been launched, but they are trying to resolve it. Once it is resolved, they will update as a stable and latest, right? So similarly, we will be doing the same kind of things in the pan operating system.
Okay.
So the
Anything?
latest version cannot be as stable as well, right?
Yeah, there could be.
Hmm. Okay.
Many times, uh, like you can also see when you are using your phones, right? So in your phones, you are getting the updates,
Hmm.
right? Let's say in latest news, I'm talking about in what OnePlus phones.
Yeah.
Once you got update, you got a green line in your phone, right?
Yeah.
That is the kind of bug that disrupt
Yes.
your hardware, that can be disrupt your particular functions. So this could be anything. This
Okay.
is stable, but that is latest, but this is not stable.
Hmm.
But
True.
previously, if you are not going on that, you will not get your green screen or green light over there, right? So
Yeah.
you'll be safe. Anything else, guys?
So basically, we have to wait for some period of time before pushing the latest update to check if there is any bug or the version is working fine.
Exactly. We have to check with that particular bug ID. We have Jira where we can put that particular ID so that we can identify that related to this bug ID we have been addressed. Many tickets has been raised by the customer, and the customer is facing this issue. The issue can be the different things, right? So related to that, they are like they are facing syncing issue. They are facing slowness issue. So they are addressing that. So they have been raising. They don't know about. They are not aware about that. So what they will do, they will create a tickets for that related to that, right? And
Okay.
this is your responsibility to find out with the ID over the Jira related to that and how many customers has been and in facing this issue related to this person, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Anything else, guys, you want to discuss in this? Tomorrow I'll be discussing the zones and its type, right? Uh, I'll be also going to discuss, I'll be creating the zones that is already created. I'll explain you how exactly it is in there. I just given the overview for today, right? That this is a zone, this is how we can do that. But
What
tomorrow,
is
sorry,
what is the maintenance release? Is it open for the public as well, or is it for the testing?
maintenance release, it is basically, under the maintenance, this is latest one, which I have been discussing. This is latest, but this is not stable. So that
Okay.
means maintenance release. They have been released, but this is under maintenance. They are working on it.
So it is not recommended.
Yeah, always will be,
Preferred release.
preferred release, right? Yeah, from tomorrow, zone, and it is what is the different types of zone we have. We'll be going to discuss those things and what is the use of V-wire tap interfaces and other things whatever we have. We'll be going to discuss also that. Okay. This one we have been already covered. Might be tomorrow I'll be covering this admin account role and us. And then we will be moving ahead to the this partitions and other things from the day 3. So that would be sufficient because of it is actually we have much information to discuss in that in the zones basically. So I'll be discussing that. The basic part has been already covered, like what is a zone, what is how many types of interfaces we have, but we have been not discussed like what is the use of VWire tab. Tomorrow we will be discussing that. What is the use of each and everything, zones, types of zones, right? So everything will be going to discuss tomorrow. So again, I'm going to give you the 15 minutes time. Just collect all of your questions related to that topic and let me know so that we can discuss again.
And the PDF.
Sorry, what?
And I kindly ask you to upload these and the PDF which you showed us, the exploit vulnerability and the threat about.
Everything you will be receiving on your email. I'll drop an email regarding to that. Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
Ah,
thank you
We
very
have
much.
been already addressed everything have been noted down here. Okay, I just only have to copy paste in the particular email. That's all.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Actually, we were just trying to play the video, and it was not. We were not able to play the video on the drive.
So it is happening with the everyone or particular one?
Yes. No, we
Can you guys please check and let me know?